Hi, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the All About Digital Marketing Show. We're coming to the end of December, and I'm amazed at how fast 2020 has gone, and I don't really know why. This year has definitely been very, very different between lockdowns, restrictions, at least for us here in the UK. And I know that some of my guests have been in places like Australia where things have been just as tight, if not more so. And I think, therefore, everyone across the globe has been affected in some way or another. Today, what I wanted to take a little moment to talk about, and I have spoken about this before on the show, but I do think it's an important issue, and it's definitely something that we should all be considering. 2021, things will get better. I'm an optimist. I'm hoping that life will not return to normal or return to how it was in 2019, but will continue to evolve and we'll be able to get through this and we'll be able to get to the next stage, whatever that might be and whatever that might look like. But one thing that I'm pretty sure of is that for businesses, and especially for small businesses at this stage, it doesn't look like anything major is going to suddenly happen in 2021 that is going to change things. There is not going to be a big game changer moment. The British government talked about the vaccine potentially meaning that we would be through this and coming out the other side at Easter. I don't think that's what's going to happen. And unfortunately, I think that a lot of businesses should still, and really, it's invaluable to start focusing on everything to do with your digital presence. Now, what sort of things can you do in terms of your digital presence? Well, number one, taking a little bit of time to plan out what next year looks like is going to be a great idea. To start with, there is a gap obviously between Christmas and New Year, and I know that time is fantastic to spend drinking, eating, spending time with loved ones, family, friends, whatever else it might be. A lot of those things for us in the UK are going to be difficult. And even if you can still see your friends and family, I'd say that this is a great time, that little week in between Christmas and New Year, to start looking at what you're going to do, what your strategy is going to look like in 2021. There's not a huge amount that I can say that's going to make magic happen for your business, but what I can definitely guarantee is that making sure that your website is up to date, making sure that things that are working on your website so people can contact you easily, people can buy your products easily, people can book in some time to speak to you easily. All of those things are going to be really, really important. As we continue into next year, I don't think we're going to see floods of people returning to the street or retail or restaurants even, and there's possibilities looking across Europe at seeing what stricter lockdowns might look like, and the possibility that these will come back in January. So now is a great time to start doing those very basic things to make sure that you're in a position that your clients, customers, existing, new suppliers, everybody can connect with you super easily, super quickly. The next step I would say is starting to plan out some content. What are you going to talk about in 2021? A lot of the time, I have to plan out these episodes or at least give myself some high level headings, a title, for example, or a topic that I want to discuss. And that's a really good way to at least get started. What are the things that you can address? What are the things that you can talk to your clients about? What are potentially some of their concerns? Are you still going to be open? Are you still going to be delivering? Are you still going to be selling? Are you going to have partial closures? Are you going to have reduced staff? Whatever it might be. But all of those things are a great way to help communicate to start with. The second thing is, and we've been talking about this a lot with guests recently, empathy within your content, thinking about what your clients are going through, what your customers are going through. Try and put yourself in their shoes. So right now, you think you're having a bad time. The truth is, pretty much everyone is struggling in some way, shape, or form with this new normal, to use the coined term for 2020. What we can do and what we can look at doing is going to be really important, but trying to do it for them and really with them in mind and putting ourselves in their shoes is going to make a huge difference. That content is going to resonate with them. It's going to feel like it was written for them personally, and it's going to really help them address their fears or their issues and whatever it is that they're going through at this time. After you've done a bit of planning and everything else, then obviously you can start figuring out what next year actually looks like in terms of your content creation. Something that I'm going to be doing, and I'm telling you this not to force you to, to try and come on board or try and do the same thing, but I'm going to start doing a lot more behind the scenes content. I'm going to do a lot more showing how we use our setup, what I do in terms of editing, how I use new systems like OBS that I'm learning at the moment to record videos and to also go into streaming. But also, I'm going to show as much content about generally what we're doing, who the people are behind the organization Social Ink as an agency. And the reason we want to do that is that actually this year kind of became an excuse not to necessarily create that awesome content because you're not at a beach, it's not Instagram worthy photos, because pretty much everything is happening at home. Well, I'm going to try and challenge myself creatively. And I think that a lot of other organizations can do the same. Trying to find ways to step out of your comfort zone, finding ways that you can create content, whether you're working from home or not, but doing it in a way that engages with your audience, that you can help them, you can give them some value, but also you can showcase a little bit about who you are, what you're doing, and also the struggles that you're going through. We often get stuck in this mentality, a little bit of the Instagram kind of way of living. And what that means to me is that people end up focusing primarily on all the awesome things that they're doing, the really fun, cool, new, exciting, wow moments. And actually the reality is that we're not going to be able to make that kind of content for the foreseeable future. We won't be out at networking events for the foreseeable future. We won't be creating content that is out and about, different, cool, engaging in that way. But that doesn't mean that we can't still create content. So if I can give you one piece of advice at this stage, what I would definitely say is be yourself. Plan out what you want this to look like for next year. Get yourself some time to reflect, look back. What are the things that you didn't do necessarily enough of? What are the things you wish you had done more of? What are the things that you did do and that worked well for you and for your customers? And then from there, you can start looking at what you're going to do. In January, you will see, and I'm sure that we will share on this social media channels of for the podcast as well, the @allaboutdigimar across Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. But we will be sharing a little bit about what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to start with a challenge in January to see if I can increase my content output, doing various different things. So I will be trying out streaming for the first time. I will be doing it for the company as well as personally because I do enjoy some gaming. But I'm also going to be going back to vlogging as well and trying to create content on a regular basis so that I can continue to build my creativity. And also the processes, the way that we work, how we build these things out, how we create content. I love that process and I understand that not everybody does, but I will be honest, at the beginning, it's always challenging, it's always hard, and I'm all about pushing myself and getting out of the comfort zone. And I think everyone, if they do the same thing, will learn, they'll get new skills under their belt, and let's face it, in this world, new skills are definitely useful. So, before we actually round up for the year, and there are a couple more episodes coming out before we say goodbye to 2020, I just want to say again, if you have any issues, if you're struggling, if you're challenged, you are trying to challenge yourself, but you're not sure which ways to go about this, please feel free to reach out. Message us on any of the social media channels for All About Digimar or Social Ink. You'll find us online. There are links in the show note. Please just reach out. I'll happily give time to anybody who's looking at doing something or that wants to do something or that wants to challenge themselves in some way. And if I can help you in that way, I will be over the moon. It'll be like a Christmas present to me, even though hopefully you'll be getting the benefit. So feel free to reach out. Let us know what you're planning on doing for next year. Let us know if you're thinking of doing a challenge. And if there's enough of you that get involved, then why don't we do a challenge together? I'd be really up for that. And we could all try and push ourselves a little bit in the beginning of next year. In the meantime, I hope you all stay safe. I hope you all do manage to find ways to get home to see family, friends, and to be able to plan out whatever it is that you want to do this Christmas. In the meantime, I will say goodbye. Thank you. And again, thank you to everyone for listening to the podcast so far. It has been an incredible journey for me to go past the 100 episodes now and to keep going. Any questions you have, feel free to let us know, and take care, everybody. We'll see you soon.